Good evening, everyone. We are Team Reverie, and today we are very glad to stand here and introduce our project, Yumi. Yumi is an AI agent designed for students at the University of Macau. The main purpose of this project is to help students find useful information more easily, save time, and reduce the confusion that many students experience in daily campus life. Today, our presentation will be divided into 4 parts. First, I will talk about our project overview, including the background of the project, the problem we found, and why we wanted to solve it. Second, I will introduce our business model, including our target users, our competitive advantages, our growth logic, and our future goals. Third, I will explain the project details, especially the core functions of Yumi and how it works step by step. Finally, I will briefly introduce our team because this project is also the result of an interdisciplinary cooperation. So now let us begin with the first part. To understand our project, I think the most important question is, why did we create Yumi? At first glance, many people may think that university students already have enough information. And in fact, this is true. At the University of Macau, students receive a lot of information every day. There are many emails from teachers and the school, many notices from different websites, many school systems, many forms, and many different rules and procedures. So the problem is not that students do not have access to information. The real problem is that there is too much scattered information, and students often do not know where to look. In our slides, we use a very simple sentence to describe this point. At students never lack information. What they lack is where the answer actually is. We think this sentence captures a very real problem in university life. For example, imagine that a student wants to ask for leave. This is not a very strange or complex matter. It is something many students may need at some point. But when the student really wants to do it, many questions immediately appear. Do they need to fill the form? Do they need to email the professor first? Should they contact the course instructor, the college, or another office? Where is the official rule written? What words should they use in the email? What if they miss the right procedure? For a freshman, even this simple problem can become stressful. The student may search many pages, open many emails, ask classmates, and still feel unsure in the end. This experience is not rare. It happens again and again in student life. Sometimes the question is about leave application. Sometimes it is about deadlines, class registration, room booking, activity sign-up, academic procedures, or other campus matters. The common point is that the answer may already exist somewhere, but is hidden in too many places and it is not easy to find quickly. As a team made up mostly of freshmen, we know this feeling very well. When students first enter university, they are still learning how the whole system works. They're adapting to new classes, new schedules, new responsibilities, and a new environment. During this period, even a small information problem can make daily life harder. Students may feel lost in school websites, overwhelmed by emails, or unsure how to handle simple administrative tasks. This is exactly where our project started. We did not begin with a very complicated technical goals. We began with a very practical question. Can we build something that helps students find the right answers faster? From that question, the idea of Yumi was born. Yumi is an autonomous decision-making agent built for University of Macau students. In simple words, it is not only a system that chats with students, but also a system that tries to understand their real needs, find useful information, organize it, and then give a clear response. This point is very important. Many people hear the phrase AI assistant and immediately think of a chatbot, but our idea is a little different. We do not want Yumi to only talk. We want Yumi to help. That means Yumi should not only answer in a general way. It should work more like an assistant in campus life. It should understand that the student is not asking a random question. The student is trying to solve a real problem. So the answer should also be useful, direct, and easy to act on. For us, Udemy is meaningful not only as a technical product, but also as a response to a real educational need. In modern universities, students have more digital tools than before. However, having more tools does not always mean having a better experience. Sometimes more systems simply create more confusion. So we believe that technology should not only provide more information, it should help people manage information better. So that is also why our project can be linked to the idea of SDG, especially the parts related to equality education, equal access to resources, and the use of information to improve everyday life. If some students are better at finding information because they are more experienced, more connected, or more confident, while others struggle even to start, then the system is not fully user-friendly. Udemy aims to reduce this gap. It tries to make campus information more accessible for all students, especially new students. Another thing we want to emphasize is that Udemy is built with a very clear user group in mind. We're not trying to make a universal AI tool for every person and every problem in the world. We are focusing on one specific environment, the University of Macau students community. This focus is important because students in one university share many similar needs, similar procedures, and similar daily situations. That gives us a clear direction for product design. So, if I summarize the first part in one sentence, I will say this. Udemy was created because university students often do not lack answers, but they do lack of a clear path to those answers. And our goal is to build that path. After talking about why we created Udemy, I would like to move to the second part, our business model. When people hear about a student project, they sometimes think it is only an idea for a competition or only a classroom exercise. But for us, Udemy is more than that. We want to think seriously about whether this project can become a real product, whether it can grow, and whether it can continue to create value in the future. This is why we also designed a business model around it. First, core advantages and moat. In our slides, we mentioned that Udemy has several important advantages which also form our moat, or in other words, our competitive protection. The first advantage is dedicated data and requirements for vertical scenarios. This means our project focuses on a very specific thing instead of a very broad one. We're not trying to solve every problem for every user. We are trying to solve campus-related information problems for students. This gives us an advantage because when the usage scenario is more focused, the user needs are also clearer. We can design the system more specifically, collect more relevant data, and improve the answers in a more targeted way. The second advantage is local policy support. A university campus is a relatively stable environment. It has repeated needs, repeated users, and many common situations. Students always need reminders, information, procedures, and guidance. This means our product is not created for one-time need. It is created for problems that happen again and again. That makes the project more practical and gives us a stronger chance to be adopted in real life. The third advantage is agile iteration. Student needs are always changing. School systems may update, procedures may change, and new problems may appear each semester. Because of this, we cannot make a fixed product and stop there. Udemy needs to improve continuously. The good thing is that in the campus environment, users can get feedback quickly, and we can respond quickly as well. This creates a good condition for fast iteration. Second, ROL and the financial logic. In our slides, we also include a simple example of financial calculation. We estimate that monthly fixed cost is 300 yuan, and the card price is 10 yuan. And if there are 50 paying users, then the next profit would be 200 yuan. This means the ROL is about 66.67%. Of course, this is a basic model and not a final business conclusion. But the purpose of showing this number is to demonstrate that the project has the possibility of financial sustainability, even at a relatively small scale. In other words, Udemy is not only meaningful in terms of function, but may also be workable in terms of operation. For campus projects, financial sustainability is important. If a product cannot continue to operate, then even a good idea may not last. So we think it is necessary to consider not only whether students need this product, but also whether the product can survive and improve over time. Third, let's talk about the flywheel effect. Another important concept in our business model is the flywheel effect. This is also shown in our slides. The logic of flywheel is very simple, but very powerful. First, we attract users with a useful product. Then, as more users start using Udemy, we get more feedback and more real usage data. With more data, we can optimize the product, improve the answers, and create more customized content. As the product becomes more useful, more users are willing to use it, and the cycle continues again. This is important because it means growth does not come only from advertising or external promotion. Growth can also come from product quality itself. If the product truly solves a real problem, then each new user can also help improve the system for future users. In the long run, this kind of positive cycle can become one of the strongest driving forces of the project. In this slide, we also mentioned the idea of launching merchandise and building IP brand value. This may sound like a small point, but we think it matters. Today, users do not only care about whether a product works, they also care about whether it is memorable, friendly, and emotionally meaningful. Udemy is not just a technical tool, it also has an identity, an image, and a brand feeling. If we can make Udemy into a recognizable campus AI companion, then it may have more influence than a normal software tool. Students may remember it, trust it, and feel more willing to interact with it. This emotional connection can become part of our product value. Fifth, let's talk about our target and development stages. Our presentation also includes our future targets, which are divided into 3 stages: short-term, mid-term, and long-term. In short-term, our goal is to complete and release the official version of the software and make it a real student-developed product at the University of Macau. We want the system to move beyond the idea stage and become something students can actually use. And in the midterm, we hope to expand the influence of Udemy within Macau. We want more students to know about it and use it. At this stage, the goal is not only product completion, but also product acceptance and visibility. In the long term, we hope to launch customized versions for the other 4 major universities in Macau. After that, we hope to add more general content and even expand to a broader market, allowing users to choose different versions according to different needs. This development path shows that our vision is not limited to one single use case. We start from one university, but we believe the general problem we are solving exists in many educational environments. So to summarize the second part, our business model is based on a focused user group, strong practical demand, continuous iteration, and scalable feature development. We believe that if Udemy starts by solving one real problem well, it has a chance to grow into something bigger. Now let us move to the most important part of the presentation, the project details. In this slide, we show that Udemy currently has 3 basic functions. These are deadline reminder, AI analysis, and execute command. I would like to explain each of them one by one. The first function is deadline reminder, which means deadline for students. Deadlines are a very important part of daily life. There are homework deadlines, project deadlines, registration deadline, events deadlines, and many other time-sensitive tasks. Missing a deadline can cause stress, lower grades, or unnecessary trouble. So this function is very practical and directly connected to real student needs. A good campus assistant should not only answer questions after problems appear. It should also help students prevent problems before they happen. Deadline reminders are a good example of this. The second function is AI analysis. This means Yumi can analyze a user's question and understand what the user truly wants. Students do not always ask in a formal or structured way. Sometimes they ask very casually, such as, how do I ask for leave? How should I do now? Where can I find this? Can you help me with this process? A human understands the real meaning behind these questions, so an intelligent campus assistant should do the same. Yumi needs to detect the user's intention, identify the main issue, and decide what kind of information is needed. This is why AI analysis is one of the core parts of the system. The third function is execute command. This shows that Yumi is not limited to passive answering. In the future, it may also help users perform actions, trigger certain process, or support more active task execution. This makes the concept of Yumi closer to an agent rather than only an assistant. In our slides, we also use an example to explain the working principle of Yumi. The example is very simple and very close to real campus life. A student named Tim asks, "Hey Yumi, how do I ask my professor for leave?" Let us look at how Yumi handles this question step by step. Step 1, semantic understanding. The first step is semantic understanding. Here, Yumi tries to understand what kind of sentence this is. It identifies that the user is not only chatting for fun. The user has a real question and needs real help. This step is important because before giving an answer, the system must first understand the student's intention correctly. The second step is query plan. After understanding the question, Yumi needs to think about where and how to search for an answer. In this example, the topic is living application at the UM. So Yumi knows that it needs to look for information related to leave request, student procedure, application procedure, or communication with professors. Step 3 is about data retrieval and candidate data recall. At this stage, Yumi uses keywords such as application, leave request, and the process to find relevant information. But in many cases, there may be too much data. Some of it may be useful and some of it may not. Yumi needs to collect possible answers first before deciding which one are the most relevant. Step 4, filtering information and organizing answers. The fourth step is to filtering information and organizing answers. After collecting those candidate information, Yumi cannot just send everything to the user. They will decide which one is the real one the users asked for. Step 5, output the answer. They will give the users what they actually need. So why this workflow matters? Because this makes the system more practical and more trustworthy for student use. In the future, we hope to keep improving both the functions and the experience of Yumi. We wanted to help students in more situations, cover more campus tasks, and become a truly useful companion in daily university life. So, thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you for the presenter. And now it's Q&A session. So everyone here would like to have some question to discuss with the presenter.
好，现在是 Q&A 的 session。比如说，如果有同学有问题，可以在 Q&A 栏里面留言，然后我们会在 Q&A 的时候回答。
What is your core competitive advantages?
About our core competitive advantage, I would say because we focus on the single group, that is the student community in the university, which makes us more customized.
And what's your vision for Udemy in the future?
We want to, first of all, we try to create an IP. Like, as you can tell, the Yumi is actually a real character that we designed, which is a girl and can translate into a bird. So first, we'll build an IP. Second, we want to expand the AI assistant into other 4 universities in Macau. Then maybe in the future, we are able to go overseas and expand more market.
What problem does Udemy solve that no other tool can solve?
Because as other tools you may reach in real life, they are like maybe Douyin, maybe ChatGPT, maybe Gemini. These AI are not designed for the university students, especially like not for University of Macau students. But Udemy is specially designed for Macau's UM's students. So the information is much more related to our daily life. And at there, we can also input, like for other AI, what they search are just informations on the internet, right? But there may be some false information that may upload by other people. But Udemy, the information that Udemy gives to the user are like 100% correct, because we will fix it if there are some false information, because we are the students.
How does Udemy create value for students at the university?
Sorry, could you repeat your question?
How does Udemy create value for students at the university?
Okay. That is what we stress, like about the SDG. We want to decrease the gap. We want to remove the inequality. We want everyone to have the same opportunity to access the information. Like, it's not depends on their ability. They just need to type in their questions. It will actually save students a lot of time, make their life easier to adapt into the university life.
How do you ensure the accuracy of Udemy's answers?
We will try to tap in all the questions user may ask. And then our team, like 3 students of University of Macau, we will correct the answer. We will check the answer that Udemy gave, and maybe we will change it a little bit if there are some mistakes.
How does Udemy align with SDGs?
Udemy with SDGs, there are 3 goals I listed in the slides. Equality education, industrial innovation, and infrastructure reduced inequalities. So the 4 and 10 is more about the education part, and the 9 because like we are AI, like the trend of the whole society.
What is the biggest technical challenge you faced while building Udemy?
The biggest challenge is that it is still an AI assistant, so the LLM still need to be improved. And about API, it's hard for us to find like the cheap one and the good one. As for API, basically just simple questions, just simple tasks for the AI to build. Like, we're just a student team, so we don't have enough funds to do a lot of things. But we're trying to conquer it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the